is a presentation of Fox Sports.
We are Baltimore. We are LA.
Great start to the homestand continues as the Angels picked up the second game of this three-game set against the Oakland A's last night. They did it in grand fashion because the offense certainly came to life. We're going to try to do that once again tonight with Sonny Gray on the mound. It's the finale of this three-game set, the final meeting of the year between the Angels and the Oakland A's as we welcome inside the Big A and back to Angels baseball on Fox Sports West along with Mark Gubiza. I'm Victor Rojas. Now the Angels scored a total of 8 runs last night. They had a total of 12 hits, 7 of which were extra base hits. Cole had a big night with the extra base hits, and Jeffrey Marte certainly got his party on last night.
Oh, he certainly did, Victor. Take a look at our tools and trade brought to you by Ram Trucks. In grand fashion did the Marte parte happen with the bases loaded. First time in Jeffrey Marte's career hits a grand slam. We talked about getting himself into a fastball count. 2-1, got a fastball, drives it out the dead center field. First career one for Marte. Cole Calhoun's swing was excellent throughout this ballgame. He had a couple doubles, but in this inning alone, he picks up a double and a triple. First time an Angel has done that since 1994, and that was Jim Evans in there. There's the triple there for Cole Calhoun. So the couple doubles and the triple, 2 of them in the same inning. A spectacular game for Cole Calhoun and the offense here today.
And Ricky Nolasco did a nice job last night picking up the win. Tonight it's Alex Meyer on the mound for the Angels. His last start with the Halos, his 5th since coming over from the Minnesota Twins. We're just about ready for baseball here in the Southland. Sit back and relax. Going to bring you the lineups in the first pitch when we return. This telecast of Angels baseball on Fox Sports West is brought to you by Hyundai. Great deals on amazing cars are going on now at your Hyundai dealer. Visit buyhyundai.com today. By Jack in the Box. Taste the all-new Brewhouse Bacon Burger today for limited time only at participating restaurants. By your Southern California Toyota dealers. By Mercury Insurance, on a mission to save you money. Log on to mercuryinsurance.com to get a fast free quote and see how much you can save. And by the Jeep Renegade. Find your inner Renegade and reach your highest potential with an EPA estimated 31 highway miles per gallon. Final game of the season between these two ball clubs. Angels have taken the first two of the series and trying to wrap it up on a winning note. They'll have an off day tomorrow. The Angels will. And then take on the Houston Astros for a 3-game set beginning on Friday, the last weekend of the regular season. Oakland will head up to Seattle and play the Seattle Mariners for a 4-game series. And obviously playoff implications for the Seattle Mariners. They picked up a big win today against the Houston Astros. They are on their way home. Astros already flying to Southern California to get ready for Friday night's opener of that 3-game set. The Angels taking the field. We'll take a look at the lineup for Bob Melvin and the Oakland A's. Game number 158 for the Athletics at 67 and 90. They will have Joey Wendell leading things off at second base. Stephen Vogel bat second to play catcher. Ryan Healy at third base. It's Chris Davis back out in left field. He's the cleanup hitter. 1 RBI shy of 100. Yonder Alonso at first. Danny Valencia is in right field. Marcus Semien the shortstop. Bruce Maxwell is behind the plate tonight batting eighth. And Jake Smolinski gets a start out in center field. Mentioned Alex Myers making his 5th start since coming over from the Twins. So far as an Angel, 1-2 and a 4.58 ERA.
And I think he threw the ball very well, though the numbers in the end didn't indicate how well he threw his last start out in Houston. 1-2 mark. My go-tos for Alex Myers to be successful, to continue that learning process, keeping that front shoulder in a little bit longer, better balance, and aggressive strikes. Very important, especially with that fastball. He's got a very good curve, and he's mixing in his changeup more often.
Take a look at the defense for the Angels tonight. Marte's back in left. Shane Robinson in center with Trout DHing once again. Cole Calhoun in right. The infield with Coward and Simmons on the left side. Petit and Crone on the right. And Jeff Bandy behind the plate.
And Bandy, he's part of our Honda helpful moment. What an outstanding play he made just the other night here on Monday. Pop-up towards the dugout. Slides in, glides in with the short wall. Mike Scioscia loving that play as Bandy keeps his eye on the baseball. Collision with the wall and the bucket and the stool, and still made the play.
Oh, scary too, considering he's had some issues with the lower back tightness, and that's one that can certainly jar that back. But he is behind the plate tonight with Juan Gratterall getting to start last night. Carlos Perez had plenty of starts last week. Mike Scioscia just mixing and matching, getting through the end of this season. One positive note today, if you want to take away from anything from batting practice, Garrett Richards had a sim game and apparently threw the ball very well.
Well, I watched that whole one. He threw 30 pitches, just a regular bullpen, and 20 to live batting practice. He had some serious movement. Very good breaking ball. Looked completely comfortable on the mound today.
First one from Alex Meyer tonight. It's down and away. Joey Wendell, the second baseman, playing in his 24th big league game. A .259 average so far with a home run and 9 RBIs. Wendell now 1 for 4 last night. Just 1 hit in the series. Fouls this one back. Evens a count of 1 ball, 1 strike. Next step for Garrett Richards, a sim game, or no,
he's going to Arizona Instructional League on Monday. Pitched 2 innings.
Today was a sim game. As long as he doesn't have to face Tim Tebow.
No,
because you never.
No one wants to face him.
Yeah,
that was pretty amazing, though. that was awesome.
1-1 pitch. That is just off the plate.
Speaking of Instructional League, Florida Instructional League, first pitch Tim Tebow sees. It was a left-handed pitcher going against him.
It's like the
home
Cardinals
run.
Or something. Yeah.
First pitch he saw, home run for Tim Tebow today. We're in that
straightaway center field. Too.
Yes.
Don't you just walk away at that point?
It's
chopper to third. Coward's got it.
It's almost as if you're waiting for the national music to be played.
Yeah, right. Let's go back to before the game of the sin game with Garrett Richards on the mound. And with every positive step, you kind of hold your breath and say, all right, let's see how things work out the next time. But he was feeling pretty good. He's been talking about this for a couple of weeks, how good he's been feeling.
Listen to that sound of the catcher's mitt. And the thing I loved about what he did, and Mike Scioscia came out there, Trout was out, the entire team was out there. And this was early. This is 3 o'clock today. After a long season, everyone was out there, and they were all laughing when Shane Robinson broke his bat. Nick Buss broke his bat on a power sinker from Garrett Richards. A lot of smiles. It was great to see him go out there and compete.
A big winter for the Angels and Garrett Richards. If he is able to come back healthy and ready to go from the get-go, a huge boost to this ball club. If he's not, it's going to be a long winter, and Billy Epler, already with his hands full, will have it even more full if you could.
Watching Scioscia today and watching Charles Nagy and Billy Epler, to smile on their face, because you're right. It's a decision if Garrett is healthy, where they don't have to worry about having a #1 guy or searching for a #1 guy in your rotation. You all of a sudden have that guy.
And just
Garrett Richards.
Sorry, Gooey, just based on the free agent market to be, there isn't that guy out there. His vote hooks one foul.
Just watching it, the angle I was at, I was in the dugout, watching that baseball come out of his hand. It was unbelievably quick and comfortable. Mechanics, he really kind of shortened a little more compact mechanics for him. Boy, he threw the ball well, and a smile on his face, but it was great. Trout was bringing water and a towel out to him, and every other batter. It was a lot of fun to see that. Andrew Heaney was out there right with him because he knows that's the process he's going to go through next year.
Cal remains at 1 ball, 2 strikes. You talked with Matt Shoemaker, the pregame show. He's doing better.
Oh, that was great. I'll tell you what, just to be able to see his smile on his face and just be around his teammates, and it was fun to see him today. And he was so energetic. And he's ready already for spring training too.
I bet. 2 balls, 2 strikes as that breaking ball sails outside.
I mean, look what Shoe did his last 20 starts. ERA well under 3 before getting injured. There's Matt Shoemaker. Full of energy today.
Into the dugout, out of it. Still at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Vogt hitting .254 with 13 home runs and 54 runs batted in. That foul ball may have gotten someone in the A's dugout.
Looks like I got Kurt Young, pitching coach. Hopefully Kurt's all right. Great guy. Former teammate of mine back in the day in Kansas City. He's done a fabulous job over the years with the pitching staff for the Oakland Athletics.
Two on the way. This one's ripped down the line. That's a fair ball. Into the corner. Cole over to play the carom. Does so cleanly, and Vogt easily in at second with a 1-out double. His 30th of the season.
Got another all-speed pitch. Was looking to turn on. He's had a couple swings at some all-speed. Going back to my Hyundai key for this game today for the Angels to be successful. It's going a little Florida-Georgia line. May we all. This is going to have to be a team effort here today. No Albert Pujols. Mike Trout DHing. Alex Meyer on the mound. More likely to be limited to around 75 to 85 pitches, so the bullpen will be used for Mike Soch today. So a total team effort to be able to win this game and sweep the Oakland A's.
Here's Ryan Healy with 1 out. Man at second base. Healy had a 3-hit game last night. 2 singles and a double. Also picked up an RBI. .309 batting average for the rookie third baseman. Look at a fastball for a strike.
That's good life on a fastball. 95-mile-an-hour fastball from Alex Meyer.
Talking about that last start for Alex. It was in Houston against the Astros. Ended up giving up 4 runs. 4 hits, 5 1/3. Inherited runs coming across. Just a little bit low. 1 ball, 1 strike. Tom Woodring calling the balls and strikes tonight. Larry Vanover, the crew chief, at first. Alfonso Marquez at second, and Ryan Blackney over at third. First 2 umpires behind the plate, Marquez and Blackney, calling pretty much every pitch within the zone, regardless of its location. 1-1. Breaking pitch, and that's driven out toward right center field. Hit well. Robinson going back. He'll pull up, and this one's off the top of the wall. Vogt just now rounding third. Healy in at second. It's an RBI double, and Oakland leads it 1-0.
Well, Healy's got some pretty good power. That's his 19th double, to go along with 12 home runs. Another all-speed pitch, a breaking ball, pretty much the heart of the plate. We talked about aggressive strikes. You want a little bit more tilt to that breaking ball. It just barely stays in the yard, fortunately for the Angels. Robinson gets that in quickly.
So back-to-back doubles. And here's Chris Davis. DH last night, takes inside. And an 0 for 3 night with a walk. 246 average, 40 home runs, 99 runs batted in. Good fastball on the inside part of the plate.
And that's the one thing if you're Alex Meyer, you don't go away from the fastball. That's your bread and butter.
Does it seem like he's throwing more breaking balls here in the early part?
And it's not that one, that real hard snap to it that we're used to seeing from Alex. He's almost like he's trying to throw that for a strike, and you do that on occasion when you're behind in the count. But trust that fastball.
2-1. Meyer, of course, coming over with Ricky Nolasco from the Twins in the Hector Santiago trade.
By the way, what another great game for Nolasco last night.
8 solid innings. 2-1. This one down the right field line, slicing foul. It lands in seats.
That's a change up there at 89 from Alex Meyer. And Nolasco, he has thrown the ball so well in his last 6 starts. ERA 1.47, 184 batting average allowed. Talked to him today again. He's really that good feel for his 2-seam fastball. Even though at times last night he said he didn't have quite the same rhythm with that 2-seamer as he had the 5 previous starts, but still showed enough fastballs to make his secondary pitches better.
Wendell grounded out to start the game. Then Vogt, Healy have gone back-to-back doubles to give the Athletics a 1-0 lead. Full count on Chris Davis. Called strike 3. Got a fastball. Down he goes. 2 outs.
And he threw this fastball perfectly. 96-mile-an-hour fastball. He kept his front shoulder in so well. And look how he just drives towards the plate. Shoulders in, driving it out outside corner. Hits his spot. Bandy frames it. Excellent pitch from Meyer. You talk about getting out in front, landing on that front foot with your shoulders squared up, hits the outside corner.
So Healy still at second. Here's Yonder Alonso, the first baseman. 251 average. He'll rip this one into right field. It's a base hit. Healy's going to be waved in. Cole bobbles it. So it's going to be a 2-0 Oakland lead. And Cole had plenty of time to get Healy. Ron Washington, no hesitation in sending the big man.
And that's the one thing about Ron Washington. He's always willing to take a shot.
Alonso picks up his 54th RBI.
This is one of those odd hops on Cole. He was trying to get himself in that good throwing position. We've seen that arm. 9 outfield assists this season for Cole Calhoun.
Danny Valencia, the right fielder, takes a breaking ball outside. Game plan so far for Oakland's committed to just be aggressive against Meyer early in the count. This one's out toward right center. It'll stay in the yard. Robinson drifting over. Cole calls him off, makes the catch. There's the 3rd out. Oakland strikes for 2. They lead at 2-0 as we head to the bottom of the 1st. Bottom of the first, let's check out Mike Scioscia's lineup for game number 159 as Cole Calhoun will lead things off in right field. Mike Trout at DH batting second. C.J. Cron is at first base batting third. Jeffrey Marte at left. Andrelton Simmons is short. Jeff Bandy behind the plate. Gregorio Petit batting seventh, playing second base. Caleb Coward at third, and Shane Robinson rounds out that starting nine, patrolling center. Taking on Sonny Gray, is making his 22nd start. Not going to last long tonight. So just off the disabled list. He's been on the DL twice this year. He's 5-11 at a 5.74 ERA.
Yeah, this is more of an opportunity for Sonny the Gray to feel better about his offseason if he can get an inning in. Probably about one inning tonight. My go-tos against Sonny Gray here, especially in the first inning. Always look heater. He throws a lot of first pitch fastballs and elevate pitches in the strike zone.
First one in there for a strike. Cole a 271 batting average after the 3-hit performance last night. 2 doubles and a triple. 17 home runs, 71 runs batted in. Fastball upstairs. Mentioned the 2 stints on the DL for Sonny Gray. One with a right trapezius injury, the other right strained forearm. So he's only pitched in 21 games. Still a young guy though, 26 years of age. Native of Nashville, Tennessee. That one's downstairs. 2 balls and 1 strike. Going into the season, I remember all the talk was about the Oakland A's as to whether or not they would eventually move Sonny Gray at some point in the season. It obviously did not work out in the A's favor with the injuries and the struggles that Sonny had.
Still a young enough pitcher with great stuff. You can build your staff around him. Sean Manaea threw the ball very well, so you have some young talent in the rotation. At some point you have to, for your fan base, let them know we're going to try to compete. See those numbers this year. The ERA 5.74 for Sonny Gray. That's your third in that AL as far as his ERA, 2.73. Big time difference.
All-star last season, finished third in the Cy Young balloting. This is ripped out toward left field. That'll get down for a leadoff single.
Well, these have been some excellent swings for Cole of late, going the other way.
Take a look at the A's defensively tonight. You've got Davis in left, Smolinski in center, and Valencia at right. The infield with Healy, Simeon, Wendell, and Alonso from third to first. Maxwell behind the plate.
And Smolinski out in center field. We've seen him make some outstanding plays. 8 assists, 1 error in 175 career games as an outfielder. We've seen him cover a lot of ground, whether it's center field or even left field in his career against the Angels.
Trout looks at a strike. Mike at 318, a home run shy of 30, an RBI shy of 100. Still 3 stolen bases shy of 30.
One thing about Sonny Gray against Trout is pitching pretty well. A lot of fastballs in, 212 batting average career-wise, but he does have 3 home runs. Speaking of a lot of home runs, there was Albert Pujols. Getting another day off with his foot. Alfredo said, hey, thanks on that, for making that play. And I got a couple gold gloves.
Fouled that one at the plate.
Hey, the good thing about Alfredo, he never smiles, does he?
No. He's miserable. Just not happy. He agrees. That's his angry face, too.
By the way, he came by and gave me a high five for her. He said, hey, everyone was saying that how good of a dancer I am for Dancing with the Stars. Little Gooby Tuesday last night.
Oh, 2. Guess Alfredo's friends don't have Google, huh? To actually check to see if the story was true.
It wasn't?
When did you have time to appear on Dancing with the Stars?
He is Alfredo Griffin.
Yeah. 1-2 count. Calhoun at first with a leadoff single. That's driven out toward right field. Valencia moving back toward the corner. And he'll make the interesting catch on the warning track. 1 down.
Then Valencia, we see him play right field, left field, and now back to right field. A little basket catch there for the wall. Does have 5 outfield assists.
Going all Daryl Thomas on us. Basket catch. Back toward the first. Cole back. 1 out, 1 on. Here's C.J. Cron. Trout, by the way, DHing Albert out of the lineup for the 2nd straight night. Escobar came out of the game last night with a sore right shoulder. Udell's not playing tonight. Fastball for a strike. CJ 281 with 16 home runs, 69 RBIs. 1 for 2 game last night. Some exciting games, Gooby, in the American League tonight. 0-2.
That's why I've always been. Once Bud Selig decided to go with the wild card and then eventually 2 wild card teams, it's been so good for baseball. The energy, the excitement you bring into a number of ballparks. It would normally, especially with some comfortable leads in divisional races this year, but there's a lot of teams still alive as far as the potential to get in there at a wild card race in both leagues.
Time called. Baltimore came back in the 9th inning and beat Toronto 3-2. Huge win for the Orioles. Seattle, we mentioned earlier, won. So Toronto's lead over Baltimore is 1. Tigers currently leading Cleveland 6-3, but they are in their 2nd rain delay of the night. There's Seattle and then Houston. This one's flared out to right. Valencia's there. 2 down.
That will eventually eliminate the world champs now.
Yep.
The Kansas City Royals, even though they won today, they are now eliminated for the wild card and the playoffs.
Ross Detweiler getting ready. Yankees have loaded him up against the Boston Red Sox. Red Sox up 3-0. Nobody out in the 9th. I mentioned that it was going to be a 1-inning outing for Sonny Gray, just off the DL. Those are always fun, those bullpen games late September.
Means a lot of action down in the bullpen.
There's Jeffrey Marte. Takes inside. Boston wins that game.
Well, I think they've already clinched now.
I think, well, yeah,
because Toronto lost.
Lost, right.
But I'm sure they would love to be able to celebrate on the field in New York.
Yeah.
Well, they're going to do that one way or the other, but they love to do it in a winning fashion.
Boston, Cleveland, and Texas still playing for the best record in the American League. Boston has a 1-game advantage over Cleveland. 2-game advantage. Pardon me. 1-game advantage also over Texas. Texas trailing Milwaukee 5-4 in Arlington.
I think of those 3 teams, the team that really, I mean, they'd love to have it, which would be difficult to win at Fenway Park, but they're playing exceptional baseball right now. I think they would withstand even starting on the road in the postseason. Cleveland reeling with Corey Kluber is going to be out 7 to 10 days. Already decimated rotation for Cleveland.
Almost puts the onus exclusively on that bullpen.
Andrew Miller is going to get a lot of work. He might be pitching a lot in that 6th and 7th inning. That Terry Francona has done that with him.
2 balls, 2 strikes on Marte. Grand slam and a double last night. 2 for 4 overall. Two. Marte goes around and the inning comes to an end. A leadoff single stranded at first. Oakland leads it 2-0 as we head to the 2nd. 2017 to receive special benefits and great ticket prices by becoming an Angels season seat holder. Call 888-796-HALO or go to angels.com for details. Semien, Maxwell, and Smolinski here in the second to face Alex Meyer.
That's a good breaking ball there from Meyer. Stayed under control. Good downward action as it crossed the plate.
Marcus Semien, the shortstop, hitting .232, 26 home runs and 70 runs batted in. Semien last night just one at bat, went 0 for 1 with a double play ball. Once the Angels opened it up with the 7-run fourth inning. Both managers putting in backup players, get some at bats. Semien will go down swinging for round number 1. Second strikeout for Alex.
This breaking ball kind of backed up a little bit on him. See the rotation. He dropped his wrist enough where it flattened out, but still the speed of the pitch, especially as a hitter trying to catch up to 94, 96. But it was away. Semien is very quick and very strong on pitches on the inner half of the plate. That breaking ball away, punch out.
Good fastball for a strike to lead off this plate appearance for Maxwell, the catcher. .286 average with a home run and 13 runs batted in. 29th game in the big leagues this year. Got to start behind the plate. The opening game of the series, it went 1 for 3. Did not play last night. No balls, 2 strikes. Oakland scoring twice. The first inning, 3 hits. Slice foul again.
Good opportunity for Alex Meyer to expand the strike zone right now.
Lined out to center field. Robinson got a good jump on it and can't track it down. Over his head. Bangs into the fence. Slow to recover. Maxwell is going to try to go to third, and he is in there with a triple. Hopefully Robinson's all right.
Talked about trying to expand the strike zone as Robinson goes hard into the wall. This is a little bit too much of the plate. This is right in the heart of the plate, but down. As Robinson tracks this one down, leaps up. Looks like he landed on his left elbow and shoulder area as he jumped up for this baseball. Lands on the warning track. Adam Neva, Mike Socher out to see him.
First big league triple for Maxwell. The ball squared up well by Maxwell, and that's a tough play for a center fielder, the one hit right at you. But looked like Shane got a great read off the bat. It's just squared up so well he couldn't catch up to it.
In the warm night again tonight, carried very well. So he landed right on that elbow area. Landed with all his weight on it on that warning track just in front of the wall. waiting around for Marte to have some backup, and he has to run to get to the baseball to throw it in. And a lot of times as an outfielder, especially one with not a lot of experience like Marte, anything hit in an alley, you always go over there for backup for your center fielder. Same thing if you're a right fielder for Cole Calhoun. You always see that with Cole doing that with Trout out in center field. You always have to be there, especially when you go as hard as he did going into the wall.
So a man at third with one out, and Jake Smolinski coming to the plate. By the way, Mark Teixeira, grand slam walk-off variety. The Yankees beat the Red Sox 5-3.
So walk-off grand slam by the Yankees against the Red Sox is he's going around and touching the bases, and then the Red Sox just what do? Celebrate winning the division
Absolutely.
at that point?
Why not?
Yes.
Infield in. Second inning. Smolinski, the center fielder, hitting .241 with 7 home runs and 27 runs batted in. First action of the series for Smolinski.
It's a real good breaking ball there from Alex Meyer.
One and two. Good fastball.
And never easy to be able to hit that glove side fastball at the knees, but Meyer's been able to do that a number of times in this game so far. Very important to be able to continue to do so.
Smolinski goes down swinging on a high fastball. 2 down.
Hammer right back with the fastball away. This one at 97. And Smolinski trying to make contact, especially with the man at third in the infield in, unable to do so. A lot on that fastball.
To 2 outs, Maxwell still at third. And here's Joey Wendell, the second baseman, who grounded out in the first. Four hits for Oakland, 1 for the Angels. Meyer trying to pitch around this 1-out triple off the bat of Maxwell.
A little change up there. This change up 88 to 90, even 91 range for Alex Meyer. Pretty firm with his changeup. And it's okay to be at 89, 90, 91 with their changeup as long as you have downward action on it. Lateral action, that becomes a very hittable, almost a BP fastball from Alex Meyer because they're used to trying to gear up to 94, 95, 96.
Three balls and a strike. Been a battle so far for Meyer as far as commanding the zone. Does have 3 strikeouts, but he's given up 4 hits. Wendell takes a strike, full count.
Well, if he could just move that fastball, both lefties on that outside part of the plate, against righties that outside corner too with his fastball, he's going to be very, very effective in his career. Because that changeup, he can throw from that same plane to a lefty, start in that corner, and then drift down and away.
Payoff on the way. Wendell lines with a third. Inning comes to an end. So Maxwell picks up the 1-out triple. He's stranded there, though. We'll head to the bottom of the second. Halos down 2-0. The world a better place. That's why we donate to causes we care about. By El Pollo Loco, new chicken tenders. Try them today at El Pollo Loco. And by Longo Toyota, #1 for 49 straight years. There must be a reason. Why go anywhere else? It's the bottom of the second. The Angels trail at 2-0, and as we suspected, Sonny Gray's done after 1 inning. He'll give way to the left-hander Ross Detweiler. Detweiler started the season with Cleveland, had his was purchased from the Indians earlier this year, and he's making his 9th appearance for the Oakland Athletics. So in and out, who's in, who's out. Overall 2-3 mark, a 5.09 ERA. Can give you some length. He's also had some starts this year, 7 to be exact. All 7 as a member of the Oakland Athletics.
And Detweiler's fastball is 89-93, curveball, changeup.
He's going to face Simmons, Bandy, and Petit. Detweiler, a former first-round pick, 6th overall, 2007 out of Missouri State. Bouncer to third. Missouri State. That's Mark Burley, right? Ryan Howard.
Yes. Ryan Howard has had a pretty solid season this year for the Phillies.
1 batter up, 1 batter down. They changed the name, though. It was called something else, or am I thinking of the wrong? Sean Markham went to school there.
Talk about a power sinker he had.
You know what? I think there was a different school for Burley and Howard. No, Ryan Howard went to school there. This one over to third off the glove of Healy, and Bandy will reach. Error on Healy.
This is 9th error of the season. Right off the glove, got a chance to get that quick second out. Off the heel of the glove and into the outfield for his 9th error of the season.
Early went to Jefferson College in Hillsborough, Missouri.
Really had a pretty good career when you think about it. Perfect game, a no-hitter. World champion.
Lifted out to right. Valencia's there. Petit retired for the second out here in the second. Being told on Twitter that it used to be Southwest Missouri State. Now it's just Missouri State. Thank you, Mr. Fisher, on Twitter.
Yeah, a friend of mine used to play football there. And there, I think it was in the mid-'80s.
Two outs. Bandy over at first, and here's Caleb Coward. Switch hitter batting from the right side. 189 average. Home run and 5 runs batted in. Starting third baseman tonight. One ball, one strike.
Good to see Caleb just get back to that good consistent swing we saw when he first came back up this season. Solid defender. Look to be more consistent with the offensive side. He just pulled off on that pitch. The front shoulder opened up, the hip opened up. You gotta think in terms of driving that pitch away to right field.
Really solid season at AAA this year. At 280 at AAA with 34 doubles, 9 home runs, and 58 runs batted in. He takes a fastball that probably should have been rung up as strike 3. Instead, it's 2 balls, 2 strikes. That Weiler would like to have that one called.
Yeah.
And when I mentioned that he was a first-round pick, it was of the Washington Nationals at that point. Full count.
Robinson with that little sleeve on his arm right now after hitting that arm and elbow hard on that warning track in center field.
3-2. Bouncer to the right side. Wendell has to come in on it. The Angels are done here in the second. We'll head to the third with Oakland leading at 2-0. The third, A's up by the score of 2-0. Want to remind you to get your red on and join us for a pregame Oktoberfest celebration in the Gate 1 Music Garden when the Angels take on the Astros Friday and Saturday. Enjoy a variety of beers, live music, and more. Gooby might even be dancing for you down there.
And more.
Why not? Get your tickets at angels.com. Alex Meyer back out. 3 strikeouts, 4 hits allowed. Worked around a 1-out triple in the second. He's got Vogt, Healy, and Davis here in the third. Oh, he's 23 pitches in the first, 19 in the second. Shift on for Vogt, who doubled into the right field corner in the first. '30th double of the season for the A's catcher / DH. Occasional first baseman. 1-1. .448 career mark for Stephen Vogt at Azusa Pacific. Wow. It's pretty good.
Some real good numbers. 45 extra base hits a season for Vogt.
Two-one. Foul back. Two-two. Vogt gets jammed, lifts one out to center. One down. Good pitching on the hands.
At 96, upper part of the strike zone.
Third baseman, number 48, Ryan Healy.
Here's Healy, who had an RBI double in the first. 35th run batted in. In for a strike.
Boy, Healy this year 13 for 32 against the Angels, including a couple home runs, 7 RBI. Make that 8 RBI with the RBI double in the first.
And that's driven out to right field. Cole racing back, pulls up. This one's off the fence. Healy on his way to second, and he is in there with his second double of the night.
And he's hit the ball well to all fields this season against the Angels. Just doubled off the right center field wall, doubled off the center field wall his first at bat. High fastball. Stays back on that one well, is able to get the barrel of the bat. He's looking to drive a pitch out over the plate that way. And off the wall, played very well by Cole. And Healy able to slide in for his second double of the night, 20th of the season. It's his 4th double of this series.
Gets away from Bandy. Healy will end up going over to third. Almost somewhat reluctantly. Kind of an odd play how that developed.
It looked like Bandy was going to have a back pick. That's exactly what he was going to try to do. Backpick him at second base. He tried to get a bigger secondary lead. He was setting up, getting towards the base. And baseball gets away from Bandy. Forcing the infield in again. Gets a very good run producer here in Chris Davis.
Davis struck out looking in the first. 1-0. That's on the corner.
Is trying to stay away. We showed that game 1 of the series where Chris Davis has struggled on pitch, especially down and away. Does have 10 opposite field home runs this season.
One, two away.
See how much Meyer missed location on that one. Bandy went that high, the fastball high and out of the strike zone. That was down and away. It's a dangerous pitch going up and away against. Davis mentioned those 10 opposite field home runs. That's the pitch he can drive the other way if it's elevated.
2-2. Swing and a miss. Down goes Davis. 2 down.
Just rear back and let a 96-mile-an-hour fastball go and gets a swing and miss. Big strikeout there for Alex Meyer. That's 162 strikeouts on the season for Chris Davis.
There's Yonder Alonso. Base hit with an RBI in his first at bat. Takes outside.
Pitch count going up now for Alex Meyer to 57.
2 balls, no strikes.
Alonso more than likely swinging here 3-0 if he gets a fastball.
Takes a strike. That's off the plate. It's a walk. So 2 on with 2 outs. It's been a little bit of a battle tonight for Alex.
And not quite as crisp as we saw in Houston.
Danny Valencia, fly ball to right field in his first at bat. It's another one that backed up on him a little bit. Down and away. Third inning, a 2-0 Oakland lead.
It's one of those games where you can learn a lot. If you're Alex Meyer, your stuff is not quite as crisp, your mechanics not quite as good, but you try to make an adjustment to find your way to get into that 5th inning. Put yourself in a position to pick up a W.
1-2.
You learn sometimes a lot more when games are struggling, especially early on. You've got to figure things out.
.21 pitches thrown so far. This inning, ahead of the count at 1-2. Evens up the count.
Yeah, if he starts that a little bit closer to the outside corner, then that downward break, he's going to get a swing. But that started off the plate to begin with. Very difficult to get a hitter to chase that.
Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, and 2 on. Valencia goes down swinging, and the inning comes to an end. We'll head to the bottom of the 3rd. Halos down 2-0. When we return, we will hear from Matt Shoemaker.
You know, there's been a handful of people that have reached out, you know, which has been great. Like I said, just that support system. And I think what kind of spoke a lot to me was a lot of the wives of those guys that got hit reached out to my wife. So that was huge. That shocked me, and it was, you know, it was great to see. You know, just kind of this family we're in. You know, yeah. Like I said, guys, just seeing how I'm doing, just, you know, telling me to hang in there. Everything's feeling good, which is the most important. But like I said, you know, those wives kind of reaching out to my wife to be like, hey, you know, to talk to her. That's great.
This is pretty important when you think about the baseball family. Always tries to rally around each other, and that was, you know, an opportunity to talk to Shu today. I mean, this smile on his face, he looked so energetic, and he's ready to go. He's ready just to, obviously, pretty soon his wife Danielle's going to have the birth of their 2nd child.
That's an out. They called it an out. Home plate umpire Tom Woodring said he caught that ball in the air and immediately made the call. Healy wasn't sure, so he fired across the diamond. He said Dino's going to double check it. Should be 1 out. I thought he caught it off the bat.
That's what I thought off the bat too. Yeah, he showed right there. He got it in the glove.
Cole had a base hit in the first, was stranded at first. Detweiler working his second inning of relief. Sonny Gray got the start. Just a 1-inning appearance tonight off the DL. 1 ball, 1 strike. Texas, by the way, came back and beat Milwaukee 8-5 tonight. Boston lost. Cleveland losing. They are still in a delay. 6-3 to Detroit. This one's out to center. That has a bearing on the best overall record home field throughout the playoffs. That could be a game that gets just banged after 5 innings. Detroit scored 3 in the bottom of the 5th. The game in Washington, they called it a final with all the rain there. Diamondbacks beat the Nationals 3-0.
I think with Cleveland right now, as many guys have been injured of late, Terry Francona might be okay, even though you're still trying to win home field advantage throughout. For the Cleveland Indians, a lot of guys hurt of late. Don't want to deal with running around in the wet surface in Detroit. And now it's time for the driver's seat, brought to you by Kia, with Mike Trout at the plate, down 0-1 in this count. On the cusp of history, needs 1 home run, 1 RBI, and 3 stolen bases to become the youngest ever with at least 100 runs, 100 walks, 100 RBI, 30 home runs, 30 stolen bases in 1 season. Bobby Abreu did it when he was 27. Trout is 25 right now.
No balls, 2 strikes. Mike didn't like that last call. That looked like it caught the inside part of the plate. One and 2. Mike hit a fly ball to right in the first. And they are calling that a final now in Detroit after 5 innings. 6-3 victory for the Tigers. So that's a blow to the Mariners, with Baltimore and Detroit winning, both clubs ahead of the Seattle Mariners.
Robinson Cano, a big game again today for Seattle against Houston. A 3-run home run in the first. 7 home runs in Minute Maid Park this year for Cano against the Astros.
Full count. Seattle with a 4-game series coming up tomorrow night with Oakland up in Seattle.
All the division winners. That wild card race, still firmly believe that's that last day of the year.
This one out to right field. Valencia dealing with the lights, makes the catch, and the Angels are down in order. And still trailing 2-0. We head to the 4th. brought to you by AutoNation.com and powered by AutoNation Toyota Buena Park. 2-0 Oakland as we start the fourth. Marcus Semien to lead things off against Alex Meyer. He tried to have an easy inning. 23 pitches in the first, 19 in the second, 23 in the third.
5 strikeouts in the game for Alex Meyer. So he's had real good balance over the pitching rubber, and what he does, he's really pushing off the rubber a little bit too quickly in that front shoulder, flying over. He's like he's going too quickly through his mechanics. That's a little bit better. Stay back on it. Again, his balance is very solid over the pitching rubber. Sometimes he tries to jump out there too quickly, and that's when that front shoulder flies open.
Good breaking ball.
Nasty.
Semien struck out leading off the second. Fastball away, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Full count. Third full count of the night for us. Alex. He's issued 1 walk. And Semien gets this one out the left. Marte moving over. 1 down.
Generally a pretty good danger zone against Semien, but that fastball had enough run action up in the strike zone to get him to jam it. Fly it out lazily out to left field. Very, very quick. Normally on a high fastball inside. 96 with some late movement. Jammed them.
One out, nobody on, and here's Maxwell, who tripled over the head of Robinson in center field. Eventually stranded at third. Maxwell, 25-year-old, born in Germany but raised in Alabama.
So far, Alex Meyer has faced 17 batters. Only 6 times he's thrown a first pitch strike. We talked about continue that learning process, getting ahead of the count, especially with the type of fastball and breaking ball that he has. Very important. Go get a lot of quick outs.
2 balls and a strike. His first start with the Angels was against Oakland on September the 7th. 5 strikeouts, 4 walks, allowing 1 hit and 3 in the third. Two balls and 2 strikes. Maxwell's second round pick in 2012 by Oakland, Birmingham Southern College. A nice little quiet approach at the plate.
Strong hitter too.
The pitch, he bounces this one over to second. Petit. 2 down.
Good location for that breaking ball. Took a little bit off it. Only 84-mile-an-hour curveball.
Imagine now the up and down night for Alex. I mean, this is the first time that he's retired the first 2 batters to start an inning. So making progress. Good for him. Build a little confidence. Just finish strong. It's all a work in progress for him.
When you think about how many innings he has thrown, which is not a lot this whole season.
Just missed outside. Coming into play tonight, 21 1/3 at big league innings. In the minor leagues, just a total of 17 1/3. Pardon me, 21 1/3 in the minor leagues. Dealing with some right shoulder issues earlier this year as a member of the Twins. It's an off-speed pitch. It gets bounced over to first, and there's a 1-2-3 inning. We head to the bottom of the 4th inning. Halos down 2-0. It's your local Southern California Infiniti retailer for a test drive today. The Angels trail at 2-0 as we start the bottom of the 4th inning. Cron, Marte, and Simmons coming up. They face Ross Detweiler. Detweiler in his 3rd inning of relief. Cron swinging first pitch, lifts one out to right center. Smolinski calling for it. One down. CJ 0 for 2 so far.
Left fielder, number 19, Jeffrey Marte.
So 1 out, nobody on, and Jeffrey Marte at the plate. The only strikeout of the game for Oakland, that was against Sonny Gray in the 1st. Halos have action in their bullpen, so maybe Alex Myers' night will come to an end after 4 innings.
There's Jeffrey Marte's mother at the game tonight. Big smile on her face. Watching her son at the plate here. Grand slam last night for Marte. Marte's had a pretty solid season. 25 extra base hits, 13 home runs, 12 doubles.
One, two, line down toward left center field. Davis not going to get this one. It'll go to the wall. One hopper. Jeffrey's on his way to second. And the 1 out double. Second hit of the night for the Angels. The first since Calhoun led off the bottom of the first.
Marte's mom very happy with that double. There you go. Mom's excited. Extra base hit. 13th double for Marte of the season.
Simmons takes downstairs. Angels with a man in scoring position for the first time. Last night they were good in these situations. 6 for 10.
Very good batting average for Simmons against Oakland this season. 343, 7 RBI.
Two balls, no strikes.
There they are. Simba fan club.
Nice and cool, I'm sure, tonight.
I've ran into a couple of them the last few days. Yeah, very toasty.
Well, look how chilly he is. He's got to put the hat on.
Oh, yes.
Ground ball to the right side. That'll sneak through for a base hit. Marte is going to be waved in. Valencia's throw is up the line. And the Angels get on the board as they trail it 2-1. Simmons with his 41st RBI.
And the Simba fan club's got to be happy with that RBI single. Continue to have that big year against Oakland. Picking up his 8th RBI. There they are. Proving of Simba. Stayed back on that fastball. Lines it the other way. When you think about what he has done since the beginning part of the year as far as lining the ball the opposite way on the line, whether it's the right field, the center field, let the baseball travel. Been very solid offensively this season for the Angels. We know what he can do with the glove. But a pleasant surprise on the offensive side now, 41 RBI.
Bandy takes downstairs. Jett reached on the error by Healy in the second, was stranded at first base. 0 for 1. Came batting .235 with 8 doubles, 8 home runs, and 25 runs batted in. Two and 0. Been a struggle for Jett over the last 2 months. Great month of July, hit 286, 16 games. In August, though, so run out of steam a little bit, hit 221. Just 5 for 34 in September. 2-0. It's 2-1.
And playing in those games where he's usually at home at this point. We're trying to grind out some good at-bats.
Two balls and 2 strikes. Oakland with 2 in the first. The Angels getting one back here in the 4th. A single by Simmons. After Marte double to the alley in left center. This one out to right center field. Hit pretty well. Valencia giving chase. Has a Smolinski, and they miscommunicate. It's off the glove of Smolinski. Simmons Only gets the third, but that's a tough read for him considering Smolinski got some glove on it. And hopefully everyone's all right out there. It's a double for Bandy.
Yeah, that's split right between the two with Smolinski in center and Valencia playing in right field. That's a good swing for Jet Bandy, though. Driving the ball the other way. See, right as that baseball is, they're getting that same exact point. Both reaching up. And Smolinski looked like he looked over at Valencia just at that time, was unable to catch that baseball for a double for Bandy, his 9th of the season.
So second and third, one out, infield back. The only guy playing remotely in is Alonso at first. Petit will look at a strike. Gregorio hit a fly ball to right field in his first at bat, so he's 0 for 1. This one slicing out of play. No balls, 2 strikes.
Now, if you're Petit, especially behind in the count here, you're thinking in terms of at least a ground ball to a middle infielder to get the tying run home. They're playing back. Depending on the count, your approach changes as a hitter. You're thinking in terms of a single to drive in 2. Now, even an out and an infielder, middle infielder, ties the game up.
0-2. This is punch foul. Guy with a Coco Crisp shirt making the catch. Now an Indian.
Going to the postseason. Almonte not available on the postseason roster for Cleveland.
Oh, 2. Down and in. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Simmons standing at third. Bandy at second. 2-1 Oakland lead here in the 4th. Petit bounces one down the line. Glove knocked out by Healy. Has no play. Run scores, and we're tied at 2. Should be a single with an RBI. That's what they're ruling it.
Yeah, you can see exactly what Petit was trying to do. He's just trying to hit a ball on the ground. Ends up with an infield hit off the glove of Healy at third base. Certainly won't have a play at the plate at best. Take a strong throw across the diamond to get Petit. As you see Healy off that base pretty far on the backhand. And with Bandy staying there at second base, wise decision. No play at all for Healy.
4 straight hits off of Detweiler. 2-2 game now here in the 4th. Caleb Coward coming up. Caleb a ground down his first at bat, chops this one towards short. Simeon comes in, fires to second for 1. That's all they get. So Bandy advances to third. 2 outs now. It's up to Shane Robinson to try to snap this 2-2 tie with 2 men on.
Number 17, Shane Robinson.
He getting some high fives. Infield hit. Get a hug from Mike Trout. Told me today he'll go home to Houston for a few weeks and go down to winter ball for about a month or so before going back to Houston for the rest of the off season.
Down and in. Robinson a soft liner to third. His first at bat, so he's 0 for 1. 2-0, and that's lined into the left field corner. 1 run is in. Davis over to cut it off, does so before it gets to the track. Coward's going to be waved in. Wendell's throw to the plate is not in time. And now Robinson's going to take third as Vogt throws the ball to second. Did he come off the bag? No. Angels up 4-2. That's a 2 RBI double for Shane Robinson.
I think what you saw right there is Ron Renicky reading that throw in to the infield, taking a shot and sending Coward all the way home. Played very well by Davis, got it in quickly, but a higher throw and over the first cutoff man and then a low throw. Then you see right away Renicky sending home Coward. A 2-run double by Shane Robinson, and aggressively gets into third base, able to maintain contact with the base.
Well, last night it was a 7-run 4th inning. Tonight it's so far 4 runs. Top of the order now coming up at Cole Calhoun. Robinson with his 3rd double, now with 10 runs batted in. He stands at third base. I said Vogt's throw to second. Maxwell is the one that's behind the plate. Vogt DHing tonight. And Cole launches one out to right field. Valencia moving back at the wall, pulls up, gone! Big fly for Cole Calhoun. The scoring continues. 6-2 Angels.
Tell you what, Cole is in some kind of groove right now. We talked about him hitting the ball hard the other way. Well, it's forcing an off-speed pitch on the inner part of the plate. He stays back on that one well. Barrel the bat, great swing path. The drive that one out to right field. 18th home run of the season for Cole. 73 RBI for Cole Calhoun.
Trout swinging first pitch, hits one past Healy.
That was a rocket also.
Yes, it was. So the Angels have batted around here in the 4th.
As they did last night.
The Angels came into this 4th inning with 1 hit. They've got 7 so far. Chris Smith starting to loosen. That looks like Houston Street a little bit, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. I was like, yeah.
Maxwell out to pay a visit. A little waste of time here. Trying to get that bullpen going. That's a Trout, 3 stolen bases shy of 30 on the season. And now with a 6-2 lead, you wonder if he takes a crack at it. This inning started with C.J. Cron hitting a fly ball to center, and Cron will come to the plate. Check in on him. I have 1 stolen base against Detwiler. Does that sound right to you?
Yeah, I've always remembered he had a pretty good move.
Yep. Slide step, that's driven out to right. Valencia moving back on it. He'll pull up. This one is off the wall. Trout at third is going to be held up there. The throw goes to second. Renicky put up the stop sign. And so Trout started to stop. Once the throw went to second, Ron tried to get the windmill going again, but Mike wasn't looking at him.
Yeah, I saw the reaction by Ron Renicky. He thought that the throw would be potentially a play at the plate. And then the throw into second, realized it was an easy run for Mike Trout.
Boy, the wheels came off Ross Detwiler very quickly here in the 4th inning. 8th hit of the inning by C.J. Cron. Big one by Cole Calhoun, continues to rake. 2 hits tonight. This one, a blast. 2-run shot, is 18th of the season. Angels up 6-2. The third, not so much. A total of 50 pitches, 2 2/3 overall, 8 hits, 6 runs. Of course, he gave up a home run. No strikeouts, no walks, and he'll depart, give way to the pride of UC Riverside. It's Chris Smith taking over on the mound. The veteran, the 35-year-old, comes on in relief here. Signed with Oakland in the offseason. This will be his 13th game at the major league level with Oakland. No record of 3.22 ERA.
Yeah, fastball is going to be 87 to 90 range. Slider and changeup. Quite a few off-speed between his slider and his changeup.
Pitch at El Paso, made 22 starts, so he can give him some length here. 6-8 and a 3.93 ERA at AAA. Trout standing at third, Crone at second. Double by Crone, by the way, is 24th. There's Jeffrey Marte, who had a double earlier this inning. One ball, one strike.
Marte would like that fastball back again. That 87-mile-an-hour fastball is the middle part of the plate.
Check, swing and went around, 1-2. Meanwhile, Jose Alvarez has thrown a complete game shutout of the bullpen. He got up about an hour and 20 minutes ago. He'll be pitching the 5th once we get there. Should be ready to go by the time the bell rings.
Especially a warm night like tonight.
1-2. Lays off this one. 2 balls, 2 strikes. 9 hits for the Angels, 8 here in the 4th. They'd had only 2 base runners in the first 3 innings. A single by Calhoun at the bottom of the 1st, and then Bandy reaching on the error by Healy in the 2nd. Full count, just off the plate. And he works the walk. That was a pretty good pitch, too. So the bases are loaded now for Andrelton Simmons.
Simba with another opportunity to get a base hit here. Thrill the pride of the game here, the Simba pride.
Off the plate. Bouncer foul. Evens the count up.
Nice play. Albert again. It's 2 plays tonight.
Good slider. 1-2. Nice block by Maxwell. Not an easy play.
Did a pretty solid job, whether at the plate or behind the plate. Maxwell for the Oakland A's. A tight slider into the dirt. Very nice job of keeping that one right in front. No chance for any base runner to try to advance on that one when you block it that well.
Full count. We'll get the merry-go-round going here. Next pitch with 2 outs. Runners will be taking off. Runners go, and there's a walk. 7-2. Simmons with his second RBI of this inning.
Another run scored for Trout. .123rd time he has scored a run. It's one away from tying Vlad for second all time as far as the Angels, as far as runs scored in the season. And Trout already has the club record. 129 runs scored. He did that back in 2012. See Trout's numbers.
No balls, 2 strikes. Bandy reached on the error of the second, doubled and scored in the 4th. Oh yeah, we're still in the 4th. Oh, 2. Missed down and away.
Bandy's been on base twice, got on an error by Healy and a double to right center field.
Smith's come in and walked 2. Marte and Simmons.
This is change up.
Next offering from Smith will be the 45th pitch thrown by an Oakland A's pitcher in this 4th inning. 2-2. Bouncer foul. Just barely. So we'll reset and do it again.
Bandy trying to add on to that RBI total.
This one's queued up the first base line. That's a fair ball. Maxwell bobbles it, and everyone is safe.
That spin off the baseball again tonight. We've seen a couple times in this series. Frustrating moment for Bob Melvin. See the spin on this baseball. And as it's rolling down the line, it's not going to roll foul. Almost stepped on it, which would have been an out. Unable to get a grip. You see just one finger on the baseball for Maxwell, unable to make the throw.
Error on Maxwell. Second of the game for Oakland. The Angels still batting 8-2. No RBI for Bandy. This is Petit who takes a breaking ball for a strike. No balls, 2 strikes. Oh, 2. Off the top of the railing there. Nice play down there on the ricochet. Oh, 2. Another breaking ball. Misses down and away. .22 pitches thrown by Smith. He came in with 2 outs. Walked Marte, walked Simmons. And then Bandy with a little squibber that Maxwell could not handle. Smith has this one. And there's the 3rd out. The Angels, however, score 8 here at the bottom of the 4th. Lead at 8-2 as we head to the 5th. We start the 5th inning. Jose Alvarez takes over on the mound for Alex Meyer, who worked 4 innings tonight, gave up a walk, struck out 5, and 5 hits allowed for him. 2 runs, both runs coming in the 1st inning. Nice inning for the Angels. 8 runs on 8 hits. Cole picking up a home run. New center fielder behind Alvarez. It's Rafael Ortega taking over for Shane Robinson. Alvarez will be facing the top of the order for Oakland here. Wendell, Vogt, and Healy. Jose pitching in his 63rd game, 1-3 mark, a 3.58 ERA.
Pitch hitting for the A's, number 18, Chad Pinder.
And we're going to get a pinch hitter now for Joey Wendell. As Pinder comes up. The first one's outside. Wendell finishes the game going 0 for 2. Two and 1. Chad Pinder, shortstop from Virginia Tech, take over second base, I would assume, unless they decide to move Simeon out of the game as well. That's out toward right center field. Not very deep. Ortega's there.
Always works that way. As soon as you get in the game, the baseball will find you. Ortega able to run that one down.
1 out, nobody on for Stephen Vogt.
Number 21, Stephen Vogt.
Vogt a 1 for 2 game, doubled and scored in the first, a fly ball to center in the third. Ball and a strike. A little late action late. 1-2. Three infielders on the right with Vogt up. And leaving up the count. Kind of a mixed bag, if you will, for Alex Meyer tonight, although did finish strong in the 4th inning with a 1-2-3 frame. 1 fly ball out, 2 ground outs to get into the dugout. Last start of the year for Alex.
Still think some progress made. A lot of times it's easy when things are going well, just continue to dominate the strike zone, but when you struggle, especially early on, see what kind of adjustments a young pitcher can make. And I thought Alex Meyer made some pretty good adjustments in the 3rd and 4th inning.
Vogt lifts one out toward left center field, slicing back toward Marte. 2 down. And get ready for MLB postseason, where all that matters is October. The NLDS starts October the 7th on FS1.
It's going to be real interesting with the Washington Nationals. For them at this point, some key members hurt. They battle for that 2nd spot, 2nd seed as far as division winners between the Dodgers and the Nationals. And the wild card, St. Louis loses again to Cincinnati, but San Francisco is losing at this moment to Colorado at home. Of course, the Dodgers end the season up in San Francisco. You know the Dodgers would love to find a way to knock out the Giants in the playoffs.
Yeah. Cardinals have scored 2 runs or fewer in 5 of their last 7 games.
Vin Scully going to do those last 3 games up in San Francisco.
Healy with a 1-ball, 1-strike count. Couple of doubles tonight. 1 RBI, 1 run scored. Two balls, 1 strike.
Healy 14 for 33 against the Angels this year. Always has quite a few family and friend down at the ballpark here, Angel Stadium.
Goes from the green and gold from the University of Oregon to the green and gold of the Oakland Athletics. Worked out well. Didn't have to change over a whole lot of stuff.
Full count. A little bit different than those colors for the Crespi Carmelite, though.
3-2 count with 2 outs. We're in the 5th. Angels up 8-2. Angels trying to finish off a sweep of the Athletics. Healy goes down swinging. We head to the bottom of the 5th with the Angels on top. Sunday for Fan Appreciation Day. The Angels will celebrate our fans as we take on the Astros at 12:05. Fans in attendance will have a chance to win great prizes courtesy of Yokohama, Jersey Mike's, and Welk Resorts. Just go to angels.com/promotions to get your tickets. Halos here at the bottom of the 5th have Cowart, Ortega, and Calhoun. That's 8, 9, and 1. Pinder stays in the game at second base. Just waiting for a law enforcement officer to depart right field. And now the gate is closed. Gallo for 2. Smith came in the 4th inning and threw 24 pitches, faced 4 batters. Should have probably only faced 3, but Maxwell just couldn't hand that ball off the ball off the bat of Bandy. None of those runs charged to the right-hander. Detweiler gave up 8 runs, 7 earned in his 2 2/3 innings. Changeup grounded to short. 1 down. This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Los Angeles Angels and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of Angels Baseball LP. Here's Ortega for his first plate appearance. Shane Robinson finishes the night going 1 for 2 with a 2 RBI double.
Bang that left elbow and shoulder area, diving for a ball into the gap right in front of the wall.
One ball, 1 strike on Ortega. Rafi hitting .230 on the season. 8 doubles, a home run, and 15 runs batted in. Takes downstairs. Ahead of the count of 2-1. Three balls and a strike. There's Smith, as we mentioned, UC Riverside product. 35-year-old. 4th round pick of the Red Sox in 02 as this one's fouled back. Been in the big leagues with Boston for 12 games back in 08, Milwaukee in 09, and briefly in 2010. This is his first taste of big league life since then for him.
A good friend, Troy Percival, head coach of UC Riverside now.
Count remains full. Those games he's pitched in the big leagues, 35 for Milwaukee in 09. And he walked him. It's the 3rd walk issued by the right-hander.
Hyundai key for this game for the Angels to be successful. May we all? Well, they certainly did so in that 4th inning. Everyone swinging the bat well in the 4th, scoring 8 runs to take an 8-2 lead here. Trying to add on Cole Calhoun. Big home run again. 2 hits in the game. 18 home runs, 73 RBI on the season for Cole Calhoun. And Cole's last 6 at-bats, he's hit for the cycle. A single, a couple doubles, a triple, home run. And he's been driving the ball very well the other way, too.
Takes a strike. Oakland with 2 runs on 5 hits. They've committed 2 errors and stranded 4. The Angels with 8 runs, all in the 4th inning, on 9 hits, and have left 5 on base. Three infielders on the right side with Cole at the plate. Two and one. Trout on deck. left field line, slicing foul. This one to reach the seats.
And our top tier play brought to you by Arco occurred in the 4th inning with Cole at the plate. The fastball drives it out to right center field. 2-run home run for Cole Calhoun. 73 RBI, 18 big fly. Along with 33 doubles, 5 triples.
This one's pulled down the line and foul. Larry Vanover making the call. Sounded like Cole broke his bat. Pick up new lumber. The count remains at 2-2. Ortega working a 1-out walk. He stands at first. Halos will go back to their bullpen for the 6th inning. Alvarez working a 1-2-3-5. Morin had been loosening. Breaking pitch, a little bouncer foul. Full count.
Mike Trout on deck, 1 for 3.
43 pitches thrown by Smith so far. He's walked 3. He's yet to allow a hit. Ortega's on the move, and Cole strikes out swinging. Maxwell a little bit tardy, had no idea that Ortega was on the move. Rafi picks up a stolen base. So man in scoring position with 2 outs now. Trout coming up.
Ortega, pretty good jump going on that 3-2 pitch. Picks up his 8th stolen base.
Trout with a single and a run scored in the 4th.
Smith with a lot of all-speed pitches. Trout 307 batting average versus all-speed, 310 versus breaking balls.
No balls, 2 strikes. Trout currently with a 441 on base percentage. His career high 432. That was in 2013. He takes a fastball for a strike. How about that? 2 breaking balls and a fastball, and we will head to the 6th inning with the Angels leading it 8-2.
coverage of baseball. Seattle with a big win against Houston. New York stays alive in that wild card, beats Boston, but they do clinch the division. Baltimore staying alive in that wild card race. Detroit, same thing, just one game back in the second wild card. Take a look at a game break from Yankee Stadium. Mark Teixeira with the bases loaded, and he sends a text message. The dead center field grand slam walk-off home run against the Boston Red Sox. It's the third time ever for the Yankees to walk off on a grand slam versus the Red Sox. First since 1942. Charlie Keller did that, and Hall of Fame pitcher Red Ruffing did it back in 1933.
Nick Buss takes over in right field for Cole Calhoun. Cliff Pennington is the new shortstop, so Simmons out of the game, and Mike Moore the new pitcher. They start the sixth inning with the Angels up 8-2. 59th game for Mike. 2-2 mark, a 4.31 ERA. He's got Davis, Alonso, and Valencia for Oakland in the sixth inning. Righty, lefty, righty. Chris Davis 0 for 2. A couple of strikeouts, one looking, one swinging. Change up low. 1-1. Warren last pitch Friday at Houston. 2/3 of an inning. A total of 5 pitches. Davis skies one out the left. A towering shot to deep left center field. Marte back at the wall, and that is gone. Chris Davis has just hit his 41st home run of the season. Picks up his 100th run batted in. It's 8-3 Angels.
Pretty good indication how strong he is. Oh, that ball went far. That was extremely high. One of those home runs that Mark McGwire used to hit wearing that Oakland uniform. Slider, backed up. Warren is giving a courtesy look, hoping that somehow that ball would stay in the yard. Does not do so.
Previous high in RBIs for Chris Davis, 69 in 2014. He's got 100 this year.
Coming into the game, 13.50 at bats per home run hit.
That's ripped to right field. Nick Buss, fortunately, is right there for the out. A couple of loud sounds from the plate area. Pride of Cal State forwards and Chris Davis. Congratulations on getting to the century mark in RBIs. His previous high in home runs was last year at 27. His first season in the American League. Off-season trade. Ground ball up the middle. Valencia with a base hit. First hit of the night for the A's right fielder. Marcus Semien will come to the plate with 1 out and 1 on.
Shortstop, number 10.
And by the way, our hearty congratulations to Bill Brown, longtime television voice of the Houston Astros, 30 years with Houston. Called his final game today at Minute Maid Park. Unfortunately for him and the Astros, a loss to the Seattle Mariners, but just one of the all-time great guys. A pleasure to talk to and visit with every time we went to Houston. Wish him nothing but the best in retirement.
Yeah, you're right, Victor. What an unbelievably nice guy he is. Great career.
Astros will be in town on Friday, but Bill not traveling. Bill Brown no longer calling Astros games. Tal's Hill will be gone after this year at center field. One's a bummer, that's Bill. One's not a bummer, Tal's Hill. Gone.
And no Taylor Swift to blame that on this offseason.
That's right. We were supposed to do it last offseason, but the concert and the playoffs kind of wrecked the schedule. Ball and a strike on Semien, who's 0 for 2. Struck out on the second. Fly ball to left in the fourth. Two and one. This is rocketed, and what a play by Crow to knock it down. Fires the second for one, no return throw. But just to glove that ball, because that got on him on a hurry.
Yeah, you can't hit a baseball any harder than that. Certainly worth a Carl's Cam replay. Got in a good fielding position, a tough one hopper. To knock it down and get the force out at second. No play at first, but what a play. Good reaction by C.J. Cron to knock that one down and get the out at second.
He comes up with it cleanly. He might just have a tag play right there on Valencia. Because Valencia kind of defreezed. He wasn't sure if the ball was in the air or one hop in the glove.
That was 99 miles an hour off the bat. When you're playing in like that as a first baseman, very quick, that baseball's on you.
There's Maxwell, the catcher. He will take outside. 1 for 2. He tripled in the second, grounded out in the fourth. That's in the dirt. It gets by Bandy. Looked like just tried to scoop it. Simmons ends up at second base.
Change up in the dirt. Try to get the body over to not keep the glove down low enough to keep it in front of him. End up being a wild pitch.
Two one, driven out to left. Marte moving back, still going back. That ball has some carry. He will track it down near the wall for the third out. Chris Davis hits a home run to lead off the sixth. The Angels still lead it 8-3. As we mentioned, the last three games of the regular season beginning on Friday. Houston Astros in town, 7:05, 6:05, and remember Sundays at 12:05. Back out 30 minutes. You can watch Angels live pregame show to get you ready for those games.
And the Astros, this magic number to be eliminated is 1 now in the wild card race.
Yeah, with the Orioles and Tigers both winning tonight. Cron, Marte, and I believe it's Pennington coming up. CJ had doubled his last time up, 1 for 3.
Quite a few off-speed pitches from Smith. He fooled Trout that last at bat with a fastball. The last one, 0-2.
This one queued up the line. That's going to stay foul. Yes, it does.
It was fair.
Down remains at 1-2.
There's Gary DiSarcina having fun down there. There it is. It's fair.
Got to go Lenny Randle. Just
Yes.
drop down, start blowing the baseball back into fair territory. Works better on artificial turf.
Yeah, it might help a little bit.
Cron goes down swinging. Round number 1.
Left fielder, number 19.
So Jeffrey Marte comes to the plate. Nice play, by the way, to finish off the top half of the 6th inning. Not an easy ball to track down off a left-handed bat, moving back and to your right. And having to deal with a wall out there.
It was all about the angle he took going back on that baseball. Much better for Marte.
One ball, one strike. Marte's been on board twice with a double and a walk. Smith at this stage of his career, a crafty right-hander.
Tries to spot his fastball, trying to get hitters to chase out of the strike zone.
Two balls, two strikes. Missed low. Bouncer down the line. That's a fair ball. Healy couldn't get to it. Marte will turn and head to second. Another extra base hit for Jeffrey.
2 doubles, a walk tonight. 14 doubles on the season. Healy well off the base, and that went right down the line for a double.
There's Cliff Pennington for his first plate appearance. Took over defensively for Andrelton Simmons. Andrelton finishing the game going 1 for 2 with a couple of RBIs. Pennington at 210. 4 doubles, 2 triples, 3 home runs, 10 RBIs. He takes outside. Pennington, once upon a time, a first-round pick by the A's and Texas A&M. Shortstop coming up. Two balls, one strike. 3-1. It's the fourth walk Smith is allowed. The Angels have 2 on, 1 out, and Jeff Bandy coming up.
Catcher number 13, Jeff Bandy.
Action for the A's once again. 1 out here in the 6th inning. 8-3. Angels on top. All 8 runs for the Halos coming across in the 4th inning. Bandy 1 for 3. He's reached on 2 errors. He's reached twice on a couple of errors, I should say, and he's doubled. This one rolled foul. Breaking pitch. This one's fouled back. Count remains at no balls, 2 strikes. Bandy drives one out toward right center field, but that will get tracked down. Well struck by Jet Bandy. Nice jump by Jake Smolinski in center, 2 outs.
Yeah, he stayed back on that one very well to drive the ball the other way. Smolinski ran that one down.
Ground ball to the right side. Pinder has it. Petit are tied for the 3rd out. We'll head to the 7th with the Angels leading at 8-3. Inning. Want to remind you to follow Angels Baseball Live with MLB.com at Bat app, whether it's now or next season. Stay up to the moment at any moment with Game Day Live game video highlights, StatCast, news, and more. Download MLB.com at bat, the #1 app for live baseball on your phone or tablet. A.J. Ochter comes on a relief of Mike Moore, and he'll pitch the 7th, 26th game. No record of .312 ERA. Smolinski, Pinder, and Vogt are the scheduled batters for Oakland. Moore, by the way, went 1 inning, gave up 2 hits, one of which was the home run to Chris Davis. 1 run. Davis, the first Oakland Athletic with 40 home runs and 100 RBIs since Jason Giambi. The Giambino.
Yes.
First pitch down and away for ball 1. Smolinski 0 for 2. A strike down, a ground ball to first. One. 7 hits for the Athletics, 10 for the Angels. 8 of those 10 happening in the 4th. One and 2.
Good opportunity to be able to snap one of the sliders off right now to see if he can get a swing and miss. See your location that Bandy wants it.
Pulled down the line, foul.
Change up for Ochter. Let's see if he'll come back with that power sinker to see if he can get a ground ball.
Smolinski goes down swinging for the first down.
Good action on this one right here, down lower part of the strike zone. Get a swing and miss. When Ochter's pitching well, it's always in that lower part of the strike zone. A good 2-seam fastball, good changeup. Slider the same when it's down at the knees or below. Right back with another good changeup.
Pinder 0 for 1 as a pinch hitter in the 5th inning, hit a fly ball to center. Oh, 2. 4th pitcher used by Mike Scioscia. Alex Meyer with 4 innings, gave up 2 runs on 5 hits. Alvarez a scoreless inning. Moore a run in the 6th. Now Ochter here in the 7th. Bullpen game for both teams. Called strike 3. Down goes Pinder.
Good spot on that one. Back-to-back strikeouts for Ochter. Paints the outside corner. A late break to that slider.
Stephen Vogt 1 for 3 game with a double and a run scored in the 1st.
Two quick strikeouts for Ochter, falls behind. Stephen Vogt 2-0 with 2 outs.
Petit down in shallow right with the shift on. 3-0. Oh, lifts it foul. Full count.
We're looking at that National League wild card. The Giants had an opportunity to pick up a game on St. Louis in that second wild card game, but losing 2-0 to Colorado. Tyler Chatwood, pitching very well for Colorado. There's a shutout going through 8.
Former Angel.
He's pitched really well on the road. That's up in San Francisco, where the Giants have played very well for a long period of time.
Popped up. It's Cliff Pennington in the shift, calling for it. Puts it away. And a 1-2-3 inning for Octor. Stretch time, and the Angels up 8-3. Fox Sports West is brought to you by the 3-row 2016 Mazda CX-9. Bottom of the 7th, 8-3, Angels on top. They're trying to get the light wave started down in the left field corner, the old Trout Farm. Looking for some more runs, 8 runs for the Angels in the 4th. So far, they've made it stand up. Daniel Coulombe, the lefty, comes on relief. Coward, Ortega, and Buss for the Angels here in the 7th inning. Caleb 0 for 3, couple of ground outs into fielder's choice. Scored one of the 8 runs in that 4th inning. One away.
It's 4 ground balls hitting the infield today for Coward. Mentioned trying to pull the baseball, staying back, trying to drive the other way, but has been a lot of those off the end of the bat and rolling over in the infield.
Ortega worked a walk at his first plate appearance in the 5th, also stole a base. Coulombe, the former Dodger, picked up last September. 25th round pick by the Dodgers in 2012. Ahead of the count at 0-2. 26-year-old from Texas Tech.
Nice play.
Yeah, no doubt.
To the bullpen throwing strikes. Feeling his position well.
Right fielder, number 3, Nick Buss.
So 2 outs, nobody on, and Nick Buss coming up for his first plate appearance. .205 average through 32 games for Nick. Takes a strike. 7 doubles, a triple, a home run, and 8 RBIs. It's a pretty good breaking ball on a lefty. You see that that leg buckled just a little bit.
Only 7 pitches thrown, 6 of them strikes.
It's a novel concept.
And another good breaking ball there.
Yeah, the Angels are down in order. We head to the 8th inning. Halo's still up 8-3.
Them close out this game in a nice timely fashion. We go to the top of the 8th with an 8-3 victory. I'm Patrick O'Neill. Hope you stick around after this game for our Angels Live postgame show brought to you by your SoCal Mazda dealers for another stellar postgame show. But I tend to be overconfident. I will tell you that we have Tim Salmon for his last Angels Live of the season, trying to get him perhaps a little emotional. Jose Mota with us as well. Alex Curry with the interviews and going over this wacky wild card thing. Victor and Mark, National League, American League. What do you guys make of?
Well, you know what? It's going to come down to the last weekend of the regular season, Patrick, and we believe that wholeheartedly on both sides, the American League and the National League, and especially got tighter in the American League with Toronto losing to Baltimore in the 9th inning. So now the Blue Jays with just a 1-game advantage over the Orioles. The Orioles will play the Yankees over the weekend in New York, and the Blue Jays will be at Fenway Park for the final 3 games of the season there. Then you can't forget about the Tigers looming. They picked up a win today. They will take on Cleveland again tomorrow. And then the Seattle Mariners, an outside looking in scenario with 2 games back of that second wild card spot. Brett Oberholzer, as Patrick mentioned, taking over here in the 8th. A.J. Ochter went 1 inning, had 2 strikeouts. Very good performance for A.J. Oberholzer facing Healy, Davis, and Alonso. That one looked like caught the strike zone, but doesn't get called, so it's 2-0. Healy's had a nice game, 2 doubles, an RBI, run scored. Struck out in his last plate appearance. That was in the 5th. And a 4-pitch walk to start the 8th.
I think it's a very dangerous hitter. And Chris Davis, who homered his last at bat.
1 for 3 with that home run. 41st of the year, 100th RBI, and that was off of Morin. Davis lifts one out to right. Got it off the end of the bat. Nick Buss has to come in on it. 1 down.
First baseman, number 17, Leander Alonso.
Yonder Alonso 1 for 2. A single with an RBI back in the 1st inning. Oakland taking a quick 2-0 lead off Meyer in the 1st. This would bounce foul. 0-1. One ball, 1 strike.
Alonso has rolled into 15 double plays.
Look at you calling it. What it sounded like anyway.
Yeah.
Line to the right field. Just too good of a pitch. A breaking ball that was up.
Yeah, if it's down and away, he's got a shot at getting a ground ball elevated like that. Alonso stayed back on it very well. And a base hit, 2nd hit of the game, 3rd time on base. For Alonso, you see that power swing he got on an elevated breaking ball.
So Danny Valencia will bow with 2 men on and 1 out. The right fielder's gone 1 for 3. Had a bouncing single up in the middle in the 6th. 8 hits now for Oakland. Oberholzer pitching in his 10th game with the Angels as this one's bounced foul. 1-1. It's been a struggle for him. 17 in the 3rd innings, 25 hits, 14 strikeouts, 8 walks. Last outing was on Sunday. Houston went 2 innings in that one, gave up a run. Two-one count. Two-one. 2-2.
Another changeup from Oberholzer. Have Valencia out in front.
Two-two to Valencia. Full count. Here's the payoff. Valencia strikes out, swinging, 2 outs.
Yeah, high changeup. Unable to make contact. Second time Valencia has struck out in this game. He has a hit. And the changeup upstairs. Very little rotation in the baseball. See a pull off, front shoulder flying open, hip open. No contact made.
Healy still at second, Alonso at first. And here's Marcus Semien, 0 for 3. Outfield straight around with Semien at the plate. And he drives one out toward left field. Marte drifting back on it, still going back. And at the wall, that is gone. Into the bullpen, a 3-run blast. And it's now 8-6. Semien with his 27th home run of the season. And now 73 runs batted in.
Yeah, we talked about that power he has. Went down and got that low pitch. Will change up. Middle part of the plate though, went down and got it, drives it out for a 3-run home run. Very impressive power numbers.
John Axford making the catch in the bullpen for Oakland. So now a comfortable cushion becomes a 2-run lead, and Mike Scioscia is going to go to the bullpen. We are in the 8th inning, a pitching change, 8-6. Angels. Colts are giving up a 3-run blast to Marcus Semien. He is gone, and now it's Jose Valdez's turn with 2 outs and nobody on. Valdez coming into play for the 24th time, 2-3 mark, a 4.71 ERA. And we'll see which Jose Valdez shows up tonight. There are times where he's got dominating stuff, and other times he can't find the strike zone, and it's been an issue for him as far as the walks.
Yeah, when he stays under control, he's got a power fastball, 93 to 97 range, good slider, split finger fastball.
16 walks, 20 strikeouts, and 21 innings of work. That's not the kind of ratio you would like in the bullpen. And it's Matt Olson pinch hitting here. This is Maxwell's spot in the order. Olson 1 for 12 this year. 0 for 2 as a pinch hitter. A lot of power in his swing though. 1-0. Maxwell finishes the game going 1 for 3 with a triple. His first big league triple, and that happened in the second. Two and 0. This one ripped over to first. Crone digs it.
A couple good plays tonight by C.J. Crone at first base.
No doubt. That ball was smoked. Inning comes to an end. 8-6 as we head to the bottom of the 8th. Angels now lead at 8-6. It's a 2-run lead as we start this 8th inning. New catcher for the Oakland Athletics. McBride takes over with Maxwell being pinch hit for. Matt will serve the batting mate for John Axford, the veteran, pitching in his 67th game, 6-4 record, and a 4.10 ERA. He's going to face Trout, Crone, and Marte for the Angels here in their half of the 8th.
Yeah, Axford still has a good power fastball. He's 92 to 96 range. Breakable changeup.
Trout tonight 1 for 4, had a single with a run scored in the 4th inning. Fouls off the first one. 0-1 count. Trout wears one. Fastball up and in.
That's way up and in on him. Looked like the upper part of the shoulder. right on that top of the shoulder. So he gets that stride down and turns his head very well, but the shoulder and back area.
I'd take him out.
I got him square at 96 miles an hour also.
G-Man Joy's going to pitch run for Trout.
10 times this year Trout has been hit by a pitch.
Just a third batter for Axford in 67 games. That was an awful miss. Crow tonight 1 for 4 with a double and a run scored.
Crone having a solid offensive season, 281 batting average, 69 RBI.
One ball, one strike.
This is in a 113th game this year for Crone. Missed some time. Still very good power numbers. 24 doubles, 2 triples, 16 home run.
CJ behind at the count at 1-2. Two balls, 2 strikes. Trout hit by a pitch and taken out of the game. G-Man Choi over at first for him. Oh, dribbler foul up the third base line. We'll reset and do it again at 2 balls, 2 strikes. Halo's trying to finish off the sweep of Oakland. Oakland continued to chip away. Got the home run by Chris Davis in the 6th inning to make it 8-3 Angels, and then 2 out, 3-run blast by Marcus Semien in the top of the 8th inning to cut the Angels' lead to 2. Oakland will have 9-1-2 due up in the 9th. We thought it'd be Andrew Bailey, but instead it's J.C. Ramirez getting ready for the Angels in the bullpen. Full count.
Probably we'll see Choi on the move here now.
Walsh. This one popped up. Pardon me. Choi was on the move. This one will land out of play.
Giants lost tonight at home against Colorado. Still lead the Cardinals by 1 game in that final wild card spot in the National League. Tyler Chatwood picks up the W. 1.69 ERA on the road this year for Chatwood.
Axford, as a veteran, very deliberate on the mound. G-Man on the move. Crone strikes out swinging. The throw goes to second, but nobody's covering. The G-Man picks up a stolen base. 1 down. McBride did what he's supposed to do, just throw the ball to second base.
Second stolen base in the season for Choi. And that's all you can do. No one's covering the base.
1 out, 1 on, and here's Jeffrey Marte. Been on board 3 times with a couple of doubles and a walk. Jeffrey now with 14 doubles on the season. Takes outside. Ground ball left side, diving stop by Healy. Pretty nice play by the third baseman, robbing Marte of his 3rd hit of the night. 2 outs.
Good range to the glove side for Healy. Imagine that baseball is by him, gets up quickly. He's always had a strong throwing arm. Good throw at Marte at first base.
Choi still at second. There's Cliff Pennington. Worked a walk in his first plate appearance in the 6th inning. Hold 1. A's in the 9th currently have Smolinski, Pinder, and Vogt due up. Breaking ball grounded towards short. Simeon has it, gets rid of it quickly, and the Angels are done here in the 8th. We will head to the 9th inning. Looks like J.C. Ramirez coming on in relief, trying to wrap this one up. Pacific, where the Oklahoma Sooners facing Kyle Hicks and the number 21 TCU. Then at 5:30 Pacific, Arizona State takes on USC. It's all streaming live on Fox Sports Go.
Watching that Arizona State Cal game, was that last week? There was a lot of points in that game. A lot of points.
J.C. Ramirez on a relief here, trying to close it out for the Angels. Eight to 6 Angels here in the ninth. Takes over. And trying to get this one done here. Valdez got the last out of the eighth. Max Muncy's going to lead things off. So he will bat for Smolinski.
Very important to be able to maintain control of that fastball, especially lower part of the strike zone. Trust the movement. 94 to 98. Slider, split finger fastball for Ramirez.
Falls behind at 1 ball, no strikes. Muncy, a 191 batting average with a couple of home runs, 8 RBIs. 2-0. Three-0. One career save for Ramirez was earlier this year, back in May. Let's remember the Reds. And at 97, that's all you've got to do.
Yeah, trust. I mean, with the movement that he has on his fastball, that's the thing Mike Scioscia said about Ramirez. He just wants him to trust that movement. Start middle of the plate, not on the outside corner. Again, middle part of the plate like that, trust movement down. Start it on the corner, it's going to end up being a ball every time.
Muncy lifts one out the left. Marte moving over. One down.
Second baseman, number 18, Chad Hilder.
Pender's 0 for 2, a fly ball to center and a strikeout. Went around.
That's some good movement on his fastball. And just have to have trust in that movement.
One-two pitch. Check swing foul. Just missed off the plate. Two now. Bouncer foul. Stephen Vogt, the DH, is the man on deck. Pender takes a called strike, 3-2 down.
Good fastball here, 97-mile-an-hour fastball, just touching that outside corner. Second out here of the 9th inning.
And with Vogt coming up, a big out. You don't want to get anybody on base. Vogt seems to have had some big hits against the Angels late in games. That's a pretty good pitch. Doesn't get called a strike, though. Two balls, no strikes.
And Ryan Healy on deck.
Big hitter. There's a strike, 2-1.
He's been very good in the series and in the season against the Angels.
I think he likes coming home to Southern California.
Driven the ball very well the other way, too.
Yeah.
Very dangerous hitter when you have somebody who's covering the whole field like that.
Vogt grounds one over to second, should do it. Petit to the backhand. Light that baby up as the Angels sweep the Oakland Athletics. The final tonight, 8-6.
And Marte with a big game again tonight. Cole Calhoun, the same, had a home run. Marte, 2 doubles, on base 3 times, 8 runs in the 4th inning. Back-to-back games for the Angels with big-time crooked numbers in the 4th inning today. 8 last night, 7 as the Angels sweep the A's 8-6. A.J. Ochter picks up the W, his 2nd career W, first W since 2014. J.C. Ramirez picks up the save. Jeff Bandy, solid game, all-around offense. Very good for the Halos here tonight as they continue their winning ways here on the final homestand of the season. Ramirez threw the ball very well. Some defense played well for Mike Scioscia's club. I love the way they finish up here. Mike Trout was hit by a pitch late. Hopefully he's going to be okay. Cole Calhoun continues to crush the baseball extremely well of late for the Halos, using the whole field. And let's get down to Alex Curry. Break it all down with J.C. Ramirez.
JC, congratulations on completing the sweep and getting your first save as a Halo. How important is it for this team to finish this season on a high note?
Well, it's very important because we're trying to finish strong to see, to see what we got for next year and be motivated for the next season.
Now, when you see your team have an inning like they did in the 4th, scoring 8 runs, does it give you guys in the bullpen a little bit of relief?
Yeah, we got a little bit relaxed there, having fun, giving some jobs, but then when the game got close, everybody was serious, getting ready for the game.
Now, 1 series left this season. What is the goal for this team and the mentality these last 3 games?
Well, like you say, finish strong, try to play good baseball, and have fun. That's the most important thing.
Well, it looks like you guys are doing that. Congratulations on getting the save and completing the sweep.
All right, thank you very much.
Well, there you have it. The Angels complete the sweep, getting this last homestand off to a strong start. But stick around for Angels Live with Patrick O'Neill, Jose Mota, and Tim Salmon next, right here on Fox Sports West.